Everyone, and welcome to Crazy Country Couponer. What would you do if you could not get to the pharmacist to get your needed medication for some chronic pain relief? What would happen if, for whatever reason, the pharmacies weren't available, or your doctor was not available to give you the script that the pharmacy has to have to help you? What would you do? Well, I'm going to tell you. So go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and share with your friends, because everyone needs this information. It is critical information. So let's make sure we get this one out, guys and gals. This is important, particularly right now. So, give me a thumbs up for sure. Share with your friends. Ask your friends to share. Let's get this snowball a-rolling. And if you're not a subscriber, we'll take a moment to hit that subscription button and that notification bell, because normally, and this is not normally, here, we save tons of money. Well, we're still saving money, and but in different ways. And not only are we saving money, well, the stuff we're sharing with you now may be saving lives. So, to that end, you want to be a subscriber and be one of us. So, hit that subscription button and that notification bell and come on in. And subscribers, come on in. Yes, I know it was a long intro, but like I said, not normal times. All right. What we got here? Well, if you guys haven't gathered that follow me by now, I have a plethora of information. And let me tell you how and why. For one, I am 60 years old. So I have a lifetime of information behind me. I've probably lived 3 different lifetimes and 3 different lifetime scenarios doing 3 different lifetime careers. And one of them was a physician's assistant. That was about 30 years ago. But the basics are still there, guys. The basic knowledge is still there. And recently, my wealth of knowledge is extended to some prepping. I don't know everything. I would love to know more, particularly now. Like I said, I got complacent. And with non-pharmaceutical healthcare, ways to help ourselves using the things around us and what the good Lord gave us internally and externally. Okay? And that includes the knowledge. The knowledge of yoga. That was passed on to us by Agni Yoga, which was the god Shiva. And those come from another culture. We had different gods all over the world then, and these gods were simply teachers. They knew more than society, okay? Way more than society, and they just were teachers. But they were different beings, and they had a lot more knowledge, and they gave it to us. But somewhere along the line, we lost it. The Indians still know it, and some third world cultures still know it. Now, do you know it's going to be sad with everything that we got going on in this world, that the third world cultures are probably going to be the ones that survive all this? You know what the Bible says, the meek will inherit the earth? So wake up, everybody. Yep, wake up. It's time to work on raising your vibration, because that's the only way that we're going to save this planet. And that means get happy. No matter what's going on around you, happiness, gratitude, love raises the vibration. Joy raises vibration. So be joyful in what you have around you, your family. Don't be commiserating because you're stuck at home. And I know it's hard not to commiserate because you don't have no paycheck or you ain't got no money. But take a moment and think about how much worse it could be. And to that note, I want to send condolences to one of my very good friends who lost her sister who lived in New York to the situation. Okay? That's how real the situation is. Now, the situation is so real What if it starts getting to the doctors and nurses? Okay? And you can't get what you need. And you're in chronic pain. You have some conditions that are caused by inflammation. And let me tell you about inflammation. 80% of your chronic diseases is caused by, bottom line, plain old inflammation, which is your body's way of trying to fight off stuff. Okay? It's attacking parts of your body, thinking that the parts of your body are actually something harmful. Okay? So that's what happens when you get arthritis. And sooner or later, all that attacking, it just tears you up. Kills those tendons and the gelatin in the joints, uses all that up. Dries up too with old age, so that don't help none either. Unless you use it. If you do not use the body that you were given, if you sit on your butt and do not use this body, I don't care if you get up and dance like nobody's watching, or you just get up and stretch if that's all you can do. Look at some yoga. But if you don't use this body, you're going to lose the ability to do so. Hence, what the Bible says about taking care of the temple, Temple is something that you live in. Hence, you live in this body like you drive your car. It is just that place you hang out. But you can't get out of it, just like you can't get out of your house now. So you got to make the best of it. Okay? And that's what we're doing. We're going to make medicine, guys. Yep. And I'm telling you now about this because you want to go get the stuff for this and have it on hand in case it comes to this. And even if not, this is a wonderful medicine. And I'm going to explain to you why. This was an accidental discovery for me. For one, a few years back, tobacco farmers began to switch over experimentally to hemp crops. And I was help stripping some hemp. And in stripping that hemp, I noticed my hands were super soft whenever I got done. I thought. So I asked if I could have some hemp stems. And they said, yeah. I took them home and I stripped them down and tried to figure out something that I could cook them in to draw out whatever it was and that would make my hands soft at the same time. And I came up with the coconut oil. I happened to find it in the food department. And I seen it, and it said, it just sounded really good. Extra virgin, organic, cold-pressed coconut oil. Sounded great. So I grabbed some, went home, and I took my hemp stems, and I put them in my crock pot. And I simmered them for 6 hours with that. And then the next day, I thought I had me some awesome hand cream. So I slathered it on my hands. And the reason why is I had arthritis. Pretty bad. And at the time, I was actually ironing clothes. Long story short, it was just a little mental sabbatical for me. Something to keep my mind busy. But I was ironing clothes. And my hands were really bad. Especially after 8 hours of ironing. To the point, you see this pinky? You see those red knots up top? Well, that's arthritis. Now, let's see if I can show you a better shot. There you go. Now, before I started using this cream, this went like this to the point the tip of my finger almost L-shaped across my other finger. That's how bad my arthritis was. Now, this looks pretty bad now because I have not been using my cream. I've not made my cream in over 8 months. I've been being lazy. Like I said, guys, I got super complacent. Really. And now you can see it is starting to crook back over a little bit. So now it's time that we make some more medicine. Because, let me tell you, after 6 weeks of using this cream, my finger straightened out. I had no more pain in my hands at all. have not had any pain in my hands. You see the redness from the arthritis? The little bulgy knuckles? That's inflammation. This is what causes your pain. Okay? We got to get rid of that. This is a natural anti-inflammatory, folks. It is also a natural antibiotic, topical, internal, natural fungus killer. This is a miracle concoction. Okay? So, we're going to use this, and it is the basis of a medicine that I make, and these medicines are good for everything from your average and bad toothache. I used it on a toothache, another accidental discovery. This lotion is completely edible, by the way, consumable. I had nothing with me one day when I actually got an incredible toothache. And the only thing I had that I could think of to put in my mouth and on my tooth was this lotion, which I did, or oil. It will be oil, not lotion, was this oil. And I put it on my tooth, and lo and behold, within a matter of less than a minute, it stopped. Didn't taste good. Now, this much I'll tell you, it's nasty tasting. But let me tell you, that toothache went away. And not only that, it helps your gums. Okay? I'm going to give you some just plain out uses just for coconut oil by itself. Lowers your cholesterol. Yes, you can cook with it. Instead of oil, cook with coconut oil. Lowers your cholesterol. Helps with your sugar, with your metabolism. Brush your teeth with it. Prevents gingivitis. Repairs gingivitis. Your teeth are loose in your mouth. Brush your teeth with this. You got achy, sensitive teeth. Your mouth on fire. Brush your teeth with this coconut oil. Okay? I'm telling you, it is a miracle concoction. Now, how do we make medicine out of the coconut oil? Well, it's a little chemical concoction. We're actually going to cook up a hemp-fueled pain-relieving oil, okay? And we're going to use a couple of other things to go in it. And one of those things is lavender oil. And lavender is a pain reliever from way, way back, guys. This was something that they used to make tea out of. This was something they gave to soldiers in the battlefield after they were injured. Lavender was used for a pain killer. Doesn't really numb the senses that much, but it can relax. And as a topical, yes, it does relieve some pain. So, for our arthritis medicine, we're going to use a little bit of lavender. We're going to use the organic virgin coconut oil. Now, you can get this in several forms, but let me tell you this. If you are going to consume this, and you can consume it, though I would, if you're going to consume it, then we need to make 2 batches, which I will do anyway. I normally make 2 batches. I make a batch with the lavender oil and without, because the taste of this is so bad, I would not want you to actually consume this. If I was going to do the lavender for consumption, I would use lavender flowers themselves, not the lavender oil. So, we're going to take the organic virgin coconut oil, cold pressed, non-GMO, chemical free, unrefined. Now, there's several versions of this. You can get the cheap or you can get the expensive, and it depends on what you're going to do with it, as far as I'm concerned, as to what kind you get. This is actually from the Dollar Tree, guys, and I buy this. It's non-GMO, verified, pure Pure refined. Now, this is refined. That's the difference. This is unrefined, and this is refined. Okay? I use this to make my oils that I'm going to rub on my body. Is this one right here. The ones I use for my medicine is this one right here. The unrefined. And like I said, you can find it in different brands. And just like everything else, well, it kind of depends on, what you pay for. You get what you pay for, so to speak. So you can go the middle route. I always go the middle price range for my good stuff. Hence this right here. And it's going to, if you're not familiar with it, in cold weather, it solidifies. It'd be hard as a rock. So I keep mine in the fridge, by the way, only because my temperatures fluctuate really bad in in my living compartment. So I leave mine in the refrigerator. So it's going to be really hard when you take it out. So you've got to break it out of there and then melt it somewhat. And you can do that in the microwave. Now, in doing that, you have to do it relatively slow, a little bit at a time. And I kind of prefer a ceramic bowl for the simple fact it will stay hot after you've heated it up and continue to melt this. There you go. And that's kind of what it looks like as it's melted. And I think we have enough melted. You're going to need some water, of course, and we have our bottled water that we bottled. You're going to need some containers. And recycled containers are great. These actually come from a candle. And I actually was using them to store basil in from my garden from last year. Basil is also another antifungal, guys, and a good pain reliever for topical. And again, a recycled jar, guys. Now, what else do we have? This is hemp scrap, guys. You could actually go online and order hemp online. This happens to be hemp scrap because my son-in-law uses hemp for pain relief, and they accidentally sent him a bag of hemp scrap one day instead of his order of hemp. So I actually told him just give it to me. I was going to make medicine out of it. Now, the hemp scrap contains CBD, and I'm sure you've heard of CBD. It is a component of the cannabis plant. But in the hemp plant, it is the only component that it has, is the CBDs, excuse me. It does not have the THC that causes you to have the high. It's strictly a medicinal type of plant, been used for centuries, as well as for anything. You can make clothes out of hemp, guys. You can make rope out of hemp. It's the reason why it was outlawed along with cannabis. There's nothing that got you high on hemp. But the other guy that was campaigning against hemp, well, he owned a rope factory. And hemp makes stronger rope than regular rope ever thought it was. So, yeah. Ain't it something? Know your history. Something so simple kept us from medicine for years and years and years. Politics. Just saying. Alright. So, what do I have here? I got a gadget. It's called a Easy Butter Maker. And you can buy these online if you'd like. Or you can use your crock pot. The first I made, like I said, was in my little crock pot. It was in the small ones you get from the Dollar General. And if you're going to use your crock pot, either you'll have to have a way to strain it, or you can get cheesecloth, and you're going to wrap this up in the cheesecloth like you would an herb bundle for soup. And you're going to tie it up and just put it in your oil and water mixture in your crock pot. Now, how this works is kind of like a percolator. You open it up. And in the bottom, let me see what we got going on here. we got going on in here? We got a residue in here, so I want to make sure that's all that is just from where it's been put up for a little bit. I do believe that is it. Okay. Alright, we wiped it all out. And in this, we're going to add some of the coconut oil. And then we're going to fill it up to the lip with water. So you're going to do the same thing, something similar in your crock pot. Whatever amount of oil that you're going to put in, you're going to put in that amount of water in there as well. Hold up, guys. I'm one-handed trying to open a water bottle here. There we go. Okay. Now we have this little filter that goes in. And this is where you're going to put your dried hemp. Your hemp scraps. Now when you order your hemp, they don't sell hemp scraps. If you know someone who grows hemp, and this is my suggestion, if you can get hemp seeds, guys, grow you some hemp. Because like I said, in a survival situation, this is medicine. This can be rope. This can be clothing. So if nothing else, get you some hemp seeds and put them up. If you don't want to grow them now, put them up for an emergency situation. Because you can do a variety. I mean, this is a survival type plant. Okay. Now you're going to pack all that in that little filter. And like I said, if you're using cheesecloth, you're just going to roll it up in the cheesecloth and tie it up. And like I said, if you're going to get regular hemp, you're going to end up with a lot of these little buds instead of a lot of these leaves. This is stuff they normally would throw out or cook down to make hemp oil, to make lotions and stuff like what we're about to do. It's not something they would normally sell for someone to use for their medicine. Okay, we got it all packed in there. Now we're going to close up the butter maker. It simply goes on the top. And this is simply a weird, it's just like a percolator. That's really all it is, guys. Matter of fact, it was really funny when I was looking for a little portable coffee maker. The search actually brought up a thing just like this in 3 different sizes, personal coffee percolators, and it was exactly the same as this little butter maker. Okay, we got it done tight. Alright, I'm going to take it over here to my little new wave. I haven't tried this on this. I cut it on earlier, so it seems to be working on this. So we're going to cut it on. And we're at 375 on medium high. It shouldn't take very long, hopefully. And what's going to happen is it's going to begin to boil. And when it does, it should percolate up through a little tube that's on the inside. And marry together. And I'll tell you, I actually like to do this more than once. So we're only going to do it once for you, so it wouldn't take too long in the process. But normally after I cook it, I like to pour it off and rerun it again. Do the same green mixture. And actually, I would like to run it 2 or 3 times, making sure I get all of the medicine out of that mixture. Because in a crock pot, you're going to cook it on a slow heat for hours. So you're going to get all of that out of there. In this, it's going to be very quick. It's like boiling it and just like coffee. You're just shooting that boiling oil through the green, and it's marrying together, but it's not in there long enough to get all the medicine. So you have to do it a couple of times. And it's kind of like popcorn, guys. You just kind of gotta wait and see. I normally do this on my gas stove, but that seems to set off my smoke alarm. So I thought this would be a better choice to try to use. Like I said, I don't use this very often. This is something I bought for my camping excursions, which, if things do get back to semi-normal, I hope to be having videos about that this spring and summer. Well, it's already spring, so maybe late spring and early summer, because where I'm at, it gets way too hot when it gets too hot. But who's to say, we might not be doing any of that this year. But then again, it'd be a great way to do the social distancing and still get you a little vacation time in. To do a little camping, just not in a big campground. Unless you absolutely had to. Well, anything happening yet? Nope, not yet, but I feel a little rumble in there. Feels like it might be boiling. So we're about to see. And it's going to be green, just so you know. It will be green. And I don't know if you... I wouldn't add anything to this, guys, just for the aesthetics. I mean, come on. The whole point is all natural. So leave it green. Of course, you could add, if you're going to use it for oil for your body, you could add some rose oil to it. Or rose hip oil. Good choice for pain also. Oh, there it goes, guys. I hear it. Let's see if we can see it. There it goes. Oh, we'll close it up. It's coming in. There you go. Oh. Okay. So now you see what's happening. It's boiling over and going into the top part. It won't take it long. There it goes. It's already done, guys. It is already done. Once it gets started, you see there? But you see that's one run through. It's not green. It is simply just run through there the one time. So what you would do, you can do this, you can give it a few minutes to cool down before you pour it off, or you can pour it off in a ceramic bowl is what I like to use. And you can pour it, well, you're not going to be able to pour it right back in because that bottom's going to be way too hot. You're going to have to let it cool off for a little. And also the vapor lock is going to be too hard for you to open it up. So it's going to have to cool off before you can actually open it up. But let's just say we have run this the 3 times or cooked it in our crock pot for the 6 hours. Okay? If you cooked it in your crock pot for 6 hours, then you're going to take your cheesecloth out of it, and you can take it over to a bowl and kind of use a spoon to smash all the last bit of oil out of it, and then just put it to the side. And then you can take another piece of cheesecloth if you see anything floating in your oil and strain it through that piece of cheesecloth. Now you're going to take that and put it in a ceramic dish. Is the best, but if you don't have a ceramic, you can wait till it cools just a little bit. Put it in a glass dish, or put it in a